listening to the Los Rotos Podcast with Vanessa Scaduto. Produced by Upside Down Creative Media. Welcome to Los Rotos. I'm back again. My name is Vanessa Scaduto, and today I have Dean Nimock and Zack Malcomb. And if you didn't know, Dean's the black dude and Zack's the white dude. So, what's up, guys?
Last time I checked, yeah. Hey, what's up, Vanessa?
What's up? And it's exactly 4:20, and of course, you guys came rolling in with your eyes a little squintier than.
It's just how my eyes look, you know what I mean?
Yeah, is that how it is?
Allegedly. Yeah, no, it's I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, I'm really happy you guys were able to come today, and so if each one of you, I would like you to introduce yourselves, like. Are you from Jacksonville? How long you been doing comedy? Are you already doing stuff under your breath? You're already doing it?
I don't like it. I don't like introducing myself. I like to let them see me do our thing.
I just find this ironic because you tell Dean he doesn't post enough and promote himself. And here, don't be doing that on
sorry, my bad. I'm already fucking up.
You are. Well, I'm just afraid that the alarms will go off and they'll think it's a fire. Because as you can see, don't.
That's not
how fire extinguishers work. They don't have eyeballs.
They don't call them vape extinguishers.
Anyway, but I find it ironic that you tell Dean he doesn't post enough, and here I am saying introduce yourself, and you're like, I don't want to do that. Like, why should I promote?
Let's just introduce the brand. You know, the Relatables Podcast at the Relatables Podcast.
Okay,
on Instagram.
Yeah,
Zack Malcomb on Instagram.
Just so you know,
Relatables.com.
Just so you know, I do give a moment at the end for everybody to promote themselves.
I'll do it every moment.
Okay, so obviously, Dean and Zack have a podcast called The Relatables, and you should tune in. It's funny. And if you haven't listened, you're probably one of the comics they talked about. But no, I'm kidding. No, they do talk about comics just like we do here, but it's not bad. It's funny.
Never
actually.
bad.
Never bad. Or is it, Dean?
So
no.
Who are you, Dean?
Well, since you wanted to trample over everyone's introduction with his...
That is my introduction. You know what I mean?
His name is Zack Malcomb. You know, he's a scared white male hiding behind sunglasses and who's using this moment to distract, deflect, and defend himself. My name is Dean Nimock, and
we told the audience to be quiet, but they would clap if we let them. So, yeah.
And I'm the guy who keeps it all together. You know, I'm the glue.
He is the glue.
You know, other than that, this guy would be wearing bandages over his mouth.
Well, probably because he can only say his racist jokes when you're around.
Yeah.
That way he gets a pass.
He says it
it doesn't sound as funny because he just looks like a white dude saying shit, and he's like, "No, my best friend's black. I swear."
If I wanted to get into my material, I would really find a Jewish friend. You know what I mean? And then I could really let loose. But all I got now is a black friend, so we'll keep with the
So
racist
basically
material.
you need to make more friends, right?
Yeah.
Well, you have a white Latina as your friend, so you do say...
Latina.
Well, also,
Carlos
you know I'm a mom,
Macias
so you say you love moms. And now you have a mom in your house. You know, you made sure. Stop doing it.
Sorry.
I'm going to take it away from you. I'm going to take it away from you. I'm going to take it away. I'm going to become a mom again right now.
It's not real paper. It's all
It's not real.
It's all digital.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things where you can visualize it, you know, in the moment.
Okay, well, let's go back, okay, real quick, because you guys, I know you will go down a lane and you'll start doing this riff with each other. This is why I love having you both on. But, Dean, how long have you been doing comedy?
4 years-ish? Yeah, 4 years.
Really?
How long have you been doing comedy?
Like 2. It'll be 2 and...
You're not counting the pandemic, obviously.
Oh,
I
then
am.
like 2.
Yeah, 2.
No.
No, you guys have been doing it.
I've been doing it like...
Oh, 3 in like October. Yeah, that's my bad.
3 years, yeah.
Because I was going to say, when I met you guys, you weren't even 30 yet, right? And now you're 30.
Yeah.
You were, so that, I remember I thought you were 26 is what you told me when I first met you.
It's 27 probably, maybe 26. But no, it's probably...
I think your birthday was a little bit after that, but whatever, I mean...
Yeah.
I've never done comedy.
You're so full of shit.
They
So
believe
did you
it.
guys first start doing it together? Like, you know, you both came to this conclusion, like, hey, we want to be losers, and the only way to do that is to become comics.
To be true, true degenerates, you have to do.
You know, fuck my bachelor's degree. You know,
I think
like-
it started. I was living in Michigan at the time. I was depressed. Just broke up with my girlfriend. She cheated on me.
a white man suppressed. Okay.
Yeah. It's hard. Imagine how hard things have to be for a white man to be depressed.
Yeah.
Oh, you depressed. I thought you said suppressed.
Oh yeah, that too.
Okay.
I gotta be really depressed.
At times, but we did this podcast called the Relatables Podcast, therelatables.com, at the Relatables Podcast. We started doing the podcast, and we've always wanted to do stand up. It's simply like we've always, since like at least for me, since like the 7th grade, like check out, you know, albums and specials and shit.
Okay.
But then I challenged him to do a minute at, what was it?
Hourglass
Pub.
When it was.
Yeah. So we did a minute, and then I had to do it because he did it, and then we just kind of started like that. Yeah.
So what you guys love about when you first got on stage? Was it just getting a laugh, that first initial laugh?
I think it was probably the not getting a laugh is what the chuckle, I did get a laugh my first time, not like a great laugh, but I feel like the hard part about it was kind of what I was like, why isn't this as easy as just fucking around with your friends? And then I was like, I can definitely figure this out.
But also, you're like a fighter and stuff too. Like you're trained and
Stretch.
pretty sure you could take any one of us out if you wanted to.
That's still a stretch.
Especially Zach. I feel like even though Zach's tall,
Zach got
Absolutely
two black
not.
eyes right now.
Absolutely.
I think you could like just easily roundhouse kick him somehow and topple him over.
I like that. I like that.
Shoot and sprawl.
He knows that.
Because you're not a fighter,
know.
Zach, right?
No.
No?
No, he's not.
You want to find out?
No, he's not.
Zach, I have an older brother. I think I could actually hold my own
feel
with
like
you.
I believe that.
Where is he right now?
I'll take that.
He's in Portland.
Well, I'm not going to help you.
He's not gonna help you, is he?
Oh, guess what? Don't worry. He doesn't help me now. He wouldn't. He's. I'm the way I am. Have you not heard some of my jokes about my siblings?
No.
Of course you have.
Well, if they ever watch this, hopefully you never hear them either. Yeah, my brother used to like hold my arms and let my sister punch me in the face, and I couldn't fight. Like, it was pretty bad.
What's the age difference, though? Is it like a
He's
year?
5 years older than me.
Oh, that's a strength gap.
Yeah, but
Or actually,
he did
wait.
it to her when she was 1 year old, though.
Oh, maybe he's 4 years older than me. Whatever.
Was he
He's-
military? I feel like he was military.
No way. My brother's a musician. No, my brother's an audio engineer and stuff.
It would suck if your brother was in the military and like the way he tortured you was like real torture. You know, like he waterboarded me like that.
Oh, so did you ever? So you never heard?
I don't know.
No,
Just
you.
thought about it.
I just realized you
Threw it out
never
there.
did hear my Chinese chamber torture joke. Then that
I've
he.
heard it.
put
I don't
in.
know if he hasn't.
I heard your accent though, and I was very offended.
Listen, it was the 80s, and that's what we called it. Okay, it wasn't. No, basically, he would put us in ski jackets with the hoods, you know, where he could put the hood over our heads the opposite way and zip us up so we're in there. Then he would put me and my sister face down into the couch and then put the cushions back over it and then jump from couch to couch. And the irony is, I look back now and I go, but I let him. Like, I let him put me in the jacket. We thought it was fun.
It's your fault, yeah.
Yeah, my fault, of course. You know, and that's how I carried that throughout my whole life.
What's he doing? What was his relationship with animals at the time?
Oh,
And
he
what is
loves
doing
animals.
now?
He's good with
Okay,
animals.
cool.
Yeah, he's
All right.
not a creep like that. Like,
Yeah.
luckily, my dad was semi there. I mean, emotionally detached like most fathers, but like he was physically still around, and he would take.
I don't
us
think
to
most
do
fathers
things.
are. I think, you know, I don't know. I didn't know my dad.
Don't cry, dude. Don't cry.
That's not the norm.
This is what we're.
Not the norm.
I swear to God, don't cry on camera.
Yeah, but this
No.
is awesome, Vanessa. This fucking whole setup.
Oh, thanks, dude. I appreciate that. But don't deflect on us talking about you again. Like, you're so good at that. You're so good. I want you to go to therapy. Because I honestly think you're going to be a great dad. You know, congratulations on...
I'm trying not to tell people that, but I guess it's out there.
What do you
I'm gonna
mean
be-
try not to tell people that? Anyway, and, you know, if Michaela, if you need anything, let me know, girl. I mean, I know. Like, for real. 'Cause,
What if
you
her
know,
need was helping me out from time to time? You know what I mean?
helping you how?
You know,
No, I don't know. Why don't you elaborate that?
On helping me.
Because if it's that kind of helping out, I ain't down with it. So I just meant if she needs to complain about you not paying attention and being like not understanding. You know, it's going to take her a whole year, even after she has the baby, to feel normal again.
Yeah.
So like that's 2 years she's been out of whack. 9 months. Then you got to breastfeed. Then you got to wait for your hormones, postpartum, and then you're probably going to end up knocking her up again within the next 2 years. So it's like we, as women, we have to constantly deal with that shit. And then on top of it, her period. Like, come on, man. Like,
Come
She
on,
doesn't have a
Dad.
period.
Wake up.
yeah. Wait.
That's why I'm like, you got rid of your period. You're pregnant. Yeah, that's hard. But you don't have to deal with your period. So why are you complaining?
Oh my God,
You know
I
what I
want to
mean?
punch you in the face, and I'm so glad you're so far away.
Yeah.
These are
Like,
conversations that need to be had. these are the tough conversations.
I'm just saying, I know you like her big boobs now, and I know, I know you like everything about it, but I'm just saying, don't just keep knocking her up for your own pleasure.
The big
okay?
boobs is a subject I want to talk to you about. Like, what do I do? Can I ingest that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Her breast milk?
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Did anyone have to help you,
With what?
like getting started?
I
Did you?
I
It's like
how-
a pamphlet
how
you
to-
get, like getting
No,
started.
there are classes actually. There are breastfeeding classes because latching tends to be a
No,
problem.
no. That's not what he's talking about.
Like getting the flow started. I heard is a process. Like there's
Think of
colostrum.
a cow, dude. It's literally you have a bud there. You
Never been a cow.
literally-
Never been a cow,
You've
Vanessa.
never milked a cow?
What? No.
Aren't you from Florida?
Yeah.
I'm
Never
from New
milked
York
a cow.
City,
You
and
dress like you've milked a lot of cows.
yeah, you do, especially goats.
I look like I was
Especially men.
looks like I was forced to milk cows, and I will never milk a cow again.
Well, basically, it's just pulling the udder. You gotta do it, but it's like with the baby tongue, it goes around the bud of the nipple, and it actually the baby's tongue pushes the milk out as it suckles it. So think of that with your thumb.
My brain can't wrap around how it all gets started. Like there's got to be a plug. You know what I mean? There's got to be something you got.
Well, here's the crappy thing. So once she starts breastfeeding, initially the colostrum is the first part, and it's this yellow-looking substance,
Yeah.
but it's high in nutrients and whatever, and that's the first 3 days after.
I know
Yeah,
all
I didn't know
this.
this podcast was going to be, educational.
Slightly.
Goodness,
but
dude.
but basically, then the milk comes in within the 3 days, okay? And then her breasts are going to engorge even bigger than they are now, like ridiculous amounts of, and it does that to see how much the baby needs to eat. So it gives you more than you need at the time.
Yeah.
So then she's going to basically leak consistently. Like she's going to engorge, and if she doesn't feed the baby on time or whatever it is, she's just going to soak right through her clothes.
There's no reservoir cap you can put on those.
No.
it's just-
But that's
it's
why they
kinda-
make pumps
yeah.
now. Like the pumps,
Yeah.
like when I got a pump, it was the worst thing. Those are old school pumps. Like now they make these real nice, quiet sounding pumps. But I mean,
I'll be your pump.
There's a situation. Yeah, you could be Michaela's pump.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Once you get some real production here, like next time you go through that spiel, you should just put up,
well, we already.
tips.
Well, thank you, Zach. We already plan editing. Like if we're talking about stuff, we'll pop up an image or something. But
be cool.
I appreciate
That'd be very
your producing notes.
Yeah. I drop them real time. So.
But no,
they're
but
free.
but can you drink it? Yes. Is it bad? No. I don't think people should be shamed if they. I mean, I've tried my breast milk when I had it. It's sweet. It tastes good. It doesn't taste bad or anything. But it's
Now, why isn't
also
there
what you
people
eat.
milk in the grocery store?
Because that's also kind of gross. Because then you have to test it in different ways.
We don't test cow milk?
We do, but it's pasteurized. It's not really good for you. I mean,
There's
we
the real
shouldn't be
question.
drinking.
There's real quick. If neither
Drinking
one
it.
is really good for us and both are kind of gross, why don't they have people milk in the grocery stores?
I guess because you.
Dude, I can be your people milk.
That's not-
connect.
I'm not.
I want.
I will start selling
There's
people
actually
milk.
okay. So there's actually, just so you know, there's actual forums that women do donate their milk to other women who can't.
It's underground too. It's illegal to do that.
Well, yeah,
heard.
I was very.
I heard.
I personally was a little disturbed by, like, I had a friend, I'm not going to say names or anything, that, knew a woman that and this used to happen all the time, right? Back in the day, you'd have a wet nurse or something like that, rich people could, go and get somebody to just breastfeed their children, in the castle or some
That's
shit.
what a wet nurse is.
Yeah, and so
different,
basically, this is. I mean, it's traditional in the sense culturally we've been doing it for thousands of years, right? But I think humans are just as gross as they always were. And I don't know. I would want somebody to be tested, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I could trust somebody else's breast milk in my kid's mouth.
Dude, imagine
what if you bought it on OnlyFans?
That's what?
It's better than a fart.
That's
you know where it's
better
coming
than
from.
a fart. A fart evaporates, sorry. And at least with pink eye, we know how to cure it. You know what I mean? Like, you got to remember, these are other people's antibodies. Other people's stuff is in this breast milk.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's how it makes it like wine.
Right.
Like, I'm getting some.
Are we gonna ferment the milk
New Yorker
now?
who rides the subway to work every day.
Yeah, this is a different berry. That's your
this
berry.
is a sweeter fruit down here in Florida.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
If they get a Zack over here, they're gonna get a white grape that
A white
very
grape.
bland,
Lightly stepped on.
not too much juice, just a little bit of juice.
No, but seriously though, Zach, back to what I was saying before we go down more breast milk track.
Breast milk holes.
No, I do think you're going to be a great dad.
Thanks.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's just like Marshall. I remember our producer, Marshall, when he was going to be a dad, you know, like Marshall's always worried about stuff, which is good.
It's good to be worried, right?
That means you actually care
I've been
about
worrying
it.
my whole life, and now I have a thing to worry about, and I'm extra worried.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's good, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't want to be overbearing. That's my only thing. I feel like I'll be like like I'll be a micromanager to my kid.
yeah.
Is that why you're trying to hide yourself?
Yeah, I don't want him to see this. I can deny this. This is a fake beard.
My real name, I'm gonna change it by then.
Well, no, I just think, like, you know, you want to be worried to an extent, but then you don't want to overkill that worry too and give them too much. You know what I mean?
Don't let
Overly
them get
give
on
them.
TikTok. Is what she's trying to say.
Yeah, well, fuck a TikTok, bro. I don't know. My daughter sends me those sometimes.
How old's your daughter?
She's 19.
Oh, she's fine.
Yeah, I mean, she's 19 years old, but I don't know, the culture of the whole thing. Plus, you know, with the Chinese government just basically making sure we just see bullshit and not educational stuff. Because you heard that, right? Like Andrew Schultz, he mentioned recently, but there's some program basically that the Chinese government only allowed their people in TikTok to see actual educational stuff, like engineering things. Like, it's always educational.
That's
that
what's
goes in their
boosted?
algorithm, right? And our algorithm is idiots burning themselves, doing farts with, you know, aerosol. And don't get me wrong, that's hilarious. We did that. We just never filmed it. Like, my brother literally did that. He like burned his ball hair off because he like was farting and.
It's not a bad idea. You know what I mean?
You can be successful. I saw Jackass last night.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's all balls and burning farts. So, I mean, you could be successful, have fun, and not have to deal with science.
It's all science.
Again, the American
way.
culture. Yeah, but see, that's the problem. We're literally becoming what I think it was Michael Moore, right? He did Idiocracy or something. Yeah, I mean, we are becoming that movie. Like, we are legit that movie.
China, they've actually gotten away. You know how we're very, like, our culture is accepting of all the fluid genders?
Right.
They're pushing that stuff out.
Right.
So it's very binary. It's only men and women. There's no other.
Right, there's no other
options. On the
options.
traditional,
Right.
you know, culture that was the old American way.
Right. It's all psychological, though, really, because I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people who identify sexually, gender-wise, differently. They just know to keep it to themselves, and they're still doing a job. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that. We already know that's kind of a bullshit thought process. Like, you could still do a masculine or culturally identified as a masculine job, and, you know, be sucking dick and getting it in the ass left and right, but you could still do that job, you know, as a dude. It doesn't matter. Well, that too. I don't know now anymore.
Just means you like having fun.
I just think people are fluid in general, man. Like, that's my real opinion, is I just think we're fluid, and I feel like putting labels on shit. I know that sounds so stupid, but
I'm solid. That's
just
how I feel.
yeah,
I feel
you're
like-
definitely solid, bro.
I feel like people are just afraid. You know, just be what you want to be, and just be that. You don't got to be fluid. Just figure out who you are.
Yeah,
and just be that.
Like, I make jokes all the time, but like, I've never been with a woman, but if I ever had the urge or, you know, was attracted to someone, I would just do it. I don't think I would be like, oh, I guess I'm gay now. I'd be like, oh, I guess I'm still me now. I mean, I've always thought women were beautiful,
That's
but I
what
just
Zach
don't
does.
have the same feeling like I do towards men.
Like, I'm not going to attach a name to it. I'm just into what I'm into. You know what I mean?
You've been watching a lot of Euphoria, huh?
Yeah.
You would, sicko. No, I'm kidding.
I've seen the last
I had never
episode,
watched.
though.
See,
Kinda
I never watched
crazy.
that. I heard it was really good, and I started. Actually, that's
good.
a lie.
It's
I
really
watched the first couple episodes of season
It's
one.
corny as hell.
Oh, is it?
It's super corn. It's cream corn.
Sweet cream corn. I thought there was a bunch of drugs and a bunch of like.
It's shot beautifully.
It's
basically
it's the same old story.
Yeah, in the 80s.
Like the girl who's too cool for school, the guy who's gay but super athletic, the girl who's super depressed but gets everything for like what it is. Like it's just.
And she's on a bunch of drugs, right?
It's just all stereotypical, but it's HBO, so it's a little bit just. It's like stereotypical for a civilized palate.
And it looks beautiful.
All right, we went off another rail, and I want to get back. I want to get back to you guys, okay? And Dean, we didn't even talk much about you. I know you're just pushing it on Zach now too.
No.
I'm gonna
subtle deflector.
I mean,
SD over here.
So are you? Your degree is in psychology, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you think that helps your comedy?
Absolutely. Yeah, sure. I feel like it helps everything. It can't hurt anything, I don't think.
Right.
So I think it just helps everything.
But, I don't know if this is public, but I'm going to put it out there. You can tell me, we can cut it out if anything. But are you going back to get your master's, though, to
yes.
actually? So you are definitely doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you think how your patients would feel if they knew you did comedy?
See, that's where I'm thinking, like, am I a psychologist or do I just like to listen to people's problems?
Well, I would think, like, as a psychologist, like, you would get so much material from listening to people, but you would have to be very careful about how you talk about stuff.
I don't think anybody wants to listen to a guy who's a psychologist and tells jokes. It's just too dicey.
You don't have to tell everybody that you are.
No, I'm going to be rich and famous, so I mean, how are they?
You can just take these crazy people. Not crazy. I don't think crazy is
that's how it's
I was like, bro.
And that's why I'm not.
I go to therapy. Thank you, Zach. Thank you for calling me crazy as well. I go to therapy.
You can take your clients' stories and perspectives and apply them to yourself and make it
plagiarize.
I mean, yeah.
Well, it's storytelling. I mean, isn't that what comics do? I mean, comics. No, but I see what Zach's saying. Comics are storytellers in general.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I would think there's some ethical, maybe HIPAA laws that you have to really be very careful what line you draw, because the one patient who sees it and goes, "This motherfucker's talking about me," like. Like he's talking about the bukkake thing I went through, or whatever it is, like.
But they wouldn't bring attention to it, because if they brought attention to it, they'd be like, "That was about me." It was like, I never knew that.
After I'm so good at my job, I would have worked them through that trauma, and they would want to bring attention to that. You know what I mean? That's the.
But I do have to say, Dean, you do have psychologists like airs about you. Like when people talk to you, you're good at smiling and nodding and listening.
I'm a good listener.
But then I
don't get enough credit for being a good listener.
No, you are a good listener. I observe you observing other people, and that's entertaining to me, because I see you make these faces like you go, really?
Say, huh?
Or you go like this, you go, tell me more. And I was like, you do the minimal things, and you get people like really start telling you shit. And then you use it against them, and you start roasting the fuck out of them.
That's the bad part.
I know. People don't know. You're just like, Dean's a great friend. He's a great listener. And he's like, yeah, what about that one time you told me? And you're like, I thought that was in confidence. You're like, I'm not getting paid for this $45 an hour. Okay, shit, Actually, my therapist, I pay her like $80 or something to see her.
That's a good one.
Off the books?
What do you mean off the books? Oh,
pay her cash?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't pay her cash. I mean, whatever I can.
Venmo.
You look like a guy who only deals with cash.
Yeah, at this moment right now.
He says off the books a
gold.
lot.
I only deal in gold, and I have to keep a scale with me.
No, I honestly think and I hope my therapist doesn't see this. I love her to death. But I'm like her only white patient. Yeah. So sometimes.
But you're not white. You're Latino.
Okay.
You're white Latino.
Visually, though, if you were to just see me walk down the street, you go, that's a white girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You benefit from that.
Yeah, it's a privilege for sure, man.
Who are you talking to? Are you looking in the mirror right now?
Just look directly into the camera. And
then you cash in with the Latino.
No, so
you get to the bank with the
one of my
card,
best friends, Mac. Well, listen, one of my best friends, Mac, he's Jamaican, right? And it's not right. I'm letting you know he's Jamaican. And his cousin, I just met him, and I've been friends with Mac for, I don't know, like 17 years now. So I met his cousin, and Jamar was with me when we went to see Ari Shafir in Orlando. And his cousin looked dead at me, and he goes, and he's Jamaican too. And he goes, what are you? And I go, is this a trick question? Because I just explained I was Latin, whatever. I go, I'm white. And he goes, that's right, you are. He goes, and I go, but I'm white Latina. He goes, that's right, you are. He goes, but what pisses me off is that when white Latinos go, when they don't say they're white, when they don't admit that they have a privilege, like they're walking, like, yes, culturally we're different than normal white people, you know, and, you know, those whack ass white people like Zach, you know what I mean? So, like, we just, no, I'm kidding.
These pastel ass motherfuckers.
I'm 1.8%.
You know, we ain't regular whites, sorry. We ain't them regular white, no.
Percent what? You just dropped the percentage and shrugged your shoulders.
I want you to lead it. I want you to ask
I
me.
am 1.8%.
Spanish Portuguese. Boom.
Oh, okay. I'm 3% South Pacific Asian, but you don't see me claiming it. Get the fuck out of here. That shit.
You do like karaoke, though.
You're very much.
I was like, isn't that like Samoan?
Too proud.
Yeah, I do like karaoke. But I was like, well, technically, they're kind of all interrelated. I mean, like they're ancestors and stuff. But like our family's from Chile.
But so were we, and then so were we. You know, what I mean? We're all ancestors.
Well, you're
I'm from a white guy.
Yeah, I was like, you're like Portuguese. You told me you're Portuguese and Spaniard, right? 1% Portuguese Spaniard.
1.8%.
1.8%, which means you were a colonizer. So like that's what that means.
Huh.
That means you colonized all these places.
You were mostly bad, and then 1.8% extra bad.
Yeah, wow, you're right. Conquistador blood.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's why I joke around. I'm like, this is colonialism, because it definitely is. I mean, but I did have an Ecuadorian lady once try to tell me the Vikings came down and fucked all my ancestors, and that's why I have red hair.
But can I raise a point, though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Anyone who's alive today, your ancestors were conquerors.
Oh.
Because they're alive. You're alive.
They survived.
No, they conquered.
Well, yeah, wouldn't necessarily say that about black people, okay?
I was saying that. I was like,
I mean, Dean's like, yeah,
Maybe
we
not.
conquered slavery, I guess. We survived it. We survived it. He's like, we somehow, survived.
years.
Yeah.
Just shoot it all up.
I know.
I thought I had a good one.
I know, yeah, but that white privilege just barreled over there.
Have you forced in sentence?
You got to push that white supremacy down, Zach. Push it down.
Yeah.
No, but seriously though, so I think you would be a good psychologist. I just don't know how you would go with the comedy thing or whatever, and like.
Yeah, it'll be tough. I'll figure it out by then. You know.
Do you think Dean would be a good dad?
Yeah, I do actually. I do think Dean
better
would be
than
a
Zach,
good dad. In some ways,
Yeah.
you teach your son how to fight. I don't think Zach would teach his son how to defend himself.
No.
See, better dad. Already a better dad.
I'm
already
the
a better dad
to the dad. I'm
Stop
a real dad.
When I get nervous, I vape.
I know, me too. That's why
Fighting was brought up and I got nervous.
just hold on to it a lot.
It's getting sweaty in here.
I've been like picked on, like bullied kind of once, but I would want to teach my kid how to get out of those situations.
Yeah.
And that's better than fighting.
Always have a credit card on you.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I'm not saying Dean is going to teach his kid to just go beat people up, but Dean will teach his kid how to defend himself.
This kid's up.
You know? But I did that with my daughter, by the way. I used to get in a lot of fights, and I never wanted her. I was picked on a lot, too, surprisingly. But I had to defend myself a lot. So I just started beating people's asses so they would stop picking on me.
You go on the offensive.
Yeah. And then, but my daughter, she would get picked on sometimes too at school, and I would tell her to stick up for herself. And if they threaten you, then and they put hands on you, you have a right to fucking beat their ass. And I basically told her, you have a right to defend yourself, period. Obviously, use your words first. And I told her, I guarantee most of them are just all doing that for show. They're trying to look tough. They're going to back down the moment you step right back to them, because they're just trying to. Kids are stupid, and they're dealing with shit.
I thought
at
that
home.
one time too, and then Mark Butler hit me in the face. Fucking fat lip.
All right. Well, Mark Butler, if you're listening, you're a piece of shit. Okay.
Damn,
I thought so too, man.
It was I remember that moment. Like, no, you know what? That's our football. And then he was like, nope. That's me crying.
Well, listen, there was one time too, I don't like bullies. That's another thing. So if I saw somebody bullying somebody, I'd step in. Like, I never fucked around with that because I was picked on. So, but my sister, though, it turns out my sister was a bully when we were little, and I didn't know. And she was always much smaller than me when we were little. And these two, like she told me these two girls were picking on her. So I went up to both the girls and told them I was gonna, beat their ass, this and that. And they're like, what? We didn't. And then they started telling me what happened. And I realized, oh, they're telling the truth, because my sister is a bitch like this. Like, I live with her. Like, I know, like, she said this. Like, the way they said she said something. Like, my sister, we love to use, like, old school New York terms like jabroni or whatever. Like, people don't say that in Florida, And so they said, she called us jabronis and, like, all this, So I went up to my sister and I said, they told me what you did. And I said, the next time you try to put me on people, because she would, because I was bigger. And we're only 16 months apart. I was like, you're going to have to fight for yourself. Like, I'm not going to stick up for a bully. Like, if these girls didn't do anything to you, like, why would I? Because there's times I've come up and I've had to do some stuff, like get my daughter, that was a Freudian slip, my sister's stuff from people. My sister would be like, they won't give it back to me. So I go up, threaten them. I better see stuff. Sure enough, 4 o'clock before we're even back from school, it's on our doorstep.
Wow.
Like Amazon Prime.
And some of these,
Amazon Prime, 2 days better be right on my doorstep.
Yeah, bro. Before that was the 90s too. The irony is the one dude who had to drop it off is dead now, and the other girl, she's been in and out of prison and still on crystal meth and shit. So
what
I think the
circumstances behind this guy's death?
I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure how he died. But he died.
I'm not quite sure.
Pleading
the fifth, I respect it.
No. I'm sure it was probably drug related. I had before I graduated high school, I had over 10 friends die from either suicide or drugs or that area was really bad, and meth just started getting into the area too.
Wait, what area?
It's in Pasco County, Hudson, Spring Hill, Weeki Wachee kind of area, Newport Richey. Those areas are really, they were also was one of the most corrupt counties in Florida at the time. And my best friend who dated this dude, it was his dad.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's fine. They did a bunch of shady stuff. And also Al Capone had a house back there. Like there was like Moon Lake.
Wait, where is it? I have no idea. Name something bigger and better.
Weeki Wachee Springs is by it. Weeki Wachee Springs is by there. Our elementary school was Hudson Elementary School was on Good Morning America for giving everybody honor roll student passes, but nobody was on the honor roll. Do you remember that segment on Good Morning America with Kelly Ripa? Nice. that was Pasco County.
That's nice.
Okay.
They were also like
down boot. This is Florida. Where is it?
It's on the west coast of Florida.
Okay.
And it is above Clearwater, above Tampa. So Tampa's about 35 minutes away.
Okay, this all makes sense.
Yeah, 35, 40. Tarpon Springs, it's about 20 minutes from there. Like, I don't know. I can keep naming St. Petersburg.
He doesn't need this.
We're in the weeds now. We're in the weeds. We're in the Florida weeds.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When I first moved there, there was dirt roads and shit, and I didn't realize that still existed. My brain was so New York. Like, we went from New York to Miami, and then we go there, and I'm like, yo, people have rifle racks on their trucks. Like, I thought it was a movie. Like, I've only seen it in movies, so I didn't realize these people exist. I had a friend who was, his family had lived on this property for, like, generations, like Civil War shit. And they had a neighbor who every Halloween, he'd put a black mannequin hanging from a noose. But when 9/11 happened, he put a turban on it. So, hey, racism still exists. Very deep. Because I asked
it's the scariest thing you can think of, racism. You know what I mean? So why did you?
Dude, it terrified the shit out of me. They had skinheads there. I mean, me and my sister always used to get in fights with the skinheads, especially the one who was Mexican, who was adopted into a white family. We just fucking would call her out all the time.
Call them posers?
Yeah, we would. We call them fucking posers.
Poser racists?
We did. We called them fucking posers. We would.
Why don't you be real racist and drop that guy?
Yeah. Well, initially they thought we were white, and we're like, no, bro, my mom's brown, and I'm gonna fuck you up. Like, I was like, I have cousins who are black. Like, I'm not gonna put up with any of that shit. I just never. It's gross. Man. So.
How do you feel about that? With that as racism?
Aren't you glad though you didn't grow up in a very woodsy sticks area? Because that shit was like, I didn't grow up there though. I mean, I came into high school there, and that was the worst.
Just gives and takes,
Yeah.
That's what racism does. It gives and it takes.
Does.
Well, the problem is there was barely anything to do, so everybody did a bunch of drugs and shit. I have to say, I experimented a lot on drugs out there, but I'm kind of glad I did because I had my daughter so young that I didn't really feel like I missed out too much because, I mean,
Got that
Had
experience.
some fun.
Any meth? You have a meth?
no, thank God. I never fucked with that.
We talked about that before the show. We didn't. That's not on.
Well, what? I
You said not to bring it up. So.
I was like, no.
So you're gonna deny
so
it,
before
so.
meth, there was crank, which is like another derivative of wannabe crack, and is like to me the birth of meth, because meth is better than crank in the sense of like the delivery and the length. And crank they would use like cleaning supplies to make with in the bathtub and stuff. So I saw what these people would be like and who they were on these drugs, and I was like, I ain't never gonna hang out or be anything like y'all. So like to me it was just a downward spiral. All I saw people was, and they missing teeth, they got like this weird acne of from scratching themselves, you know, like it was just gross.
Bugs.
But let me tell you, when I lost weight though out of high school and people started seeing me, they're like, "Oh, you on that skiing diet?" And I said, "Skiing diet." And then I realized, oh, they think I'm doing coke. And I was like, "No, bitch, I got no car and I got 3 jobs and I'm walking everywhere and smoking a pack a day and having a Coke, like a Coca-Cola and just a Snickers bar for the whole day. That's why I'm losing weight. I'm just."
Oh, this was the good old days.
I was like, it was no fun, you know.
It's like the Atkins diet, pretty much.
Yeah, and I smoked Newports then too, man.
Those were
I smoked them
90s.
ports, bro.
Yeah, when are you gonna stop vaping?
What are you
Right
gonna?
now, no, I'm just kidding.
For your child?
Okay, listen. Don't. Why are you going there?
I mean, why not? You know, he's gonna be a great father.
Okay, but why are you acting like vaping is bad though?
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It's not like he's gonna be blowing the vapors into the kid's face.
Yeah. I won't. I promise.
Yeah, until he gets nervous.
that.
Until he gets nervous.
Yeah.
He's gonna get nervous.
I know. I have to quit. It is a thing.
Well, does Michaela want you to quit?
Michaela would love.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I saying her name wrong? I'm sorry, Michaela.
We're gonna bleep all of it out.
Did I say it right this time? Michaela.
No, we're not leaving this out. This is the button. We found the button.
It's Michaela.
Yes,
I've
we
been
found
saying
the button.
Michaela. Okay, sorry, Michaela. I'm sorry.
Strange. She wants me to quit, and I should.
Okay, well then that's
It's
a different
terrible.
story. That's a different story though. If your partner is kind of asking you
There's the
this
second
question.
part of the sentence, though.
What?
You should.
I should, but it's not. I don't feel like it's. I don't feel any health consequences from it yet.
Right. Well,
You know what I
it could be worse. You could be smoking cigarettes. You could be smoking cigarettes. I think that's
Drinking
worse.
beer, getting back.
Oh my.
I don't know. I
goodness.
just feel like there's a lot of stressors in life, right? I have a little thing. I don't do drugs. I drink from time to time. You see. You know what I mean?
You need to stop, dude. I'm gonna kick you so hard.
I need a little thing. I need a little, nicotine, something.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
straight
but-
edge guy. You're
Yeah.
fucking by the books, man.
But what
have
about your
any
lady,
sex
Dean? Because Dean, you vape.
Yeah, babe.
So what are you talking about? Are you gonna be a dad one day?
Here's
or
what I do. I always try to get people to stop vaping as soon as my vape dies, and I'm in between vapes. And then once I get my vape back, I'm like,
What are we doing?
Let's just quit in a couple weeks.
What are we all trying to be great?
We got a handle on this.
Okay, this is I just want to because I want
Are you taking a watch?
because I want to make sure I have time for this.
I don't want
'cause
it to never end.
I don't either. But listen, I want to know some paranormal stories from you guys. I want to know if you have any. I want to know if you believe in that.
I've had one. I don't believe in it, and my grandma does believe in it. That's my trinity. I feel like I've seen a ghost one time. Granted, it was in St. Augustine.
Okay. Come on,
And
go
then
deeper.
It was like we were down there. We did like some kind of like ghost tour that morning, or not morning, but like the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then we went back, not to the same spot, but like we're driving back through like the same kind of route that we went through. Mm-hmm. And we pulled over to see. I forgot why we pulled over, but we pulled over, ended up looking into like the building, and like a curtain closed and like a figure like moved from behind.
What building though? You're not saying where you're at.
It was like a hotel in St. Augustine. I don't know exactly. Like I really don't remember where it was. It was when I was young, but I do remember being like, that was very weird.
Like nobody was supposed to be in there?
Right,
or-
yeah. Just like an abandoned building. It was on like the 16th floor up. Like it was like no one's supposed to be up there.
Or
So
we
you
could
saw-
say it was a squatter. I mean,
You saw a homeless person.
Yeah.
No, it
all I
was
got
a
from
very
that story.
very timely homeless person with Parkinson's, because they weren't moving very normal humanly. It was like a weird, creepy.
do you remember what they were wearing? Like, could you see any of that?
it was just like a figure of I feel like it was a lady, but it could have been a guy. It was like a
I say
figure
go with your gut
behind,
feeling.
like,
If it was a...
It was a gender fluid ghost.
Yeah, it was very...
It was a non-binary.
very fluid. Very liberal ghost.
Yeah, even before its time and ahead of its time.
Yeah, but that happened to me. I don't really think I believe in ghosts, just because like it just seems like there's other things I need to figure out before I figure out ghosts.
Well, what about aliens and stuff?
I believe in aliens more.
Because that's part of the paranormal is really like...
Yeah, I believe in aliens more than I believe in ghosts.
Okay, and why do you believe in aliens more than ghosts, though? You feel there's more evidence for that?
I wouldn't even need... yes, but I feel like I wouldn't even need the evidence. I feel like I can wrap my mind around there just being another
some
thing,
species
as opposed
existing
to there being
outside.
a whole nother dimension that I can't see kind of thing.
Okay.
That's my line.
And Zach, what about you? You said you don't believe in paranormal?
No ghosts.
No ghost at all.
No ghosts. Prove it. Show me.
Well, you've never had a weird experience you couldn't
What about all those boners you used to get
explain?
in middle school?
Ghost boners.
Yeah, I think all men get ghost boners. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
You can't talk to me about this?
Yeah.
Smell, feel, sights. Like, we know those boners.
No, but seriously, you've never had a weird experience like sleep paralysis, but like...
Never. Nothing. I get the aliens thing because there's infinite possibilities. You know what I mean? There's just nothingness past what we know.
Right.
So obviously there could be life. But ghosts, same with Sasquatch, like prove it, and then I'll believe you.
But like...
what are the pictures, though, that they have proof? Like,
Just
what if I showed you a
pictures.
Sasquatch picture?
Oh my
Just
God,
a
we
picture.
watched this
Yeah, so what does the
documentary.
prove it mean?
I have Photoshop too.
Yeah.
So what does the prove it mean, though? Like, what do you need as proof for prove it?
I need CNN to verify.
Oh yeah, like
that
we,
need to go
like I
all the way
believe
to the
anything
top.
CNN is.
If CNN will do a story on
Yeah,
this.
no.
I need Rupert Murdoch to say yes, and then I'll believe in ghosts.
You know
Ghosts are real, yes.
Yeah, but then why are all the rich people doing rituals? And you know, if there's nothing,
Because of the guilt.
the guilt,
Yeah.
Have you seen the rituals?
Which ones?
the Bilderberg stuff, and
Just the Alex Jones. We need to know the stuff everyone knows.
So again, doesn't need proof. But the ghost,
No, there's proof. There's proof.
what's the other proof? You saw pictures?
What's the place they go to? Alex Jones when he infiltrated it.
Bilderberg.
Yeah, but what's the name of the thing?
Oh, it's the grotto.
Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove, that's
yeah,
it.
he filmed it, so obviously
Right.
that's right there in front of
Yeah,
me. I can see it.
I can show you video of Bigfoot.
Well, here's the thing, guys. We know for centuries humans have been sacrificing things. There's been also, if you look into like I can't even say it. Gobekli Tepe. I can't even say it.
Tekli,
Yeah, whatever. Tekli, whatever. There's also weird things between the Mayans, the Aztecs, where information has traveled and they're using same symbols that supposedly we didn't have access to. Like, why would we have this? Like elephants. They show elephants on continents. How would they know about elephants? Like, there's basically universal knowledge of these men on discs, and then also. We have found, like, and I say we as humans, archaeologists have found baby skulls with enlarged heads, because they used to say that, oh, well, people do wrap their skulls, but they used to do that for a god who came from the stars that had his head elongated. But they also believe that they had hybrids with us, whereas where the sun god Ra and all these things come from, and why their heads were wrapped a certain way. So
they had a different perspective or different consciousness because of the way their brain was.
Well, I'm saying
like if you had a different prefrontal cortex, like you could have like really good reaction to shit because like that's what.
Well, no, they proved that even if you wrap your head or whatever, it doesn't affect your brain. Your brain's still going to function either way, regardless of your cone head. You know what I mean? Like, but what I'm trying to say is that there's evidence that there's possibility some universal knowledge we're unaware of or that has been transferred, but these people also had rituals that spoke of under other dimensions. So if we can believe in aliens have delivered information across continents, possibly, right? There's some holes in these past science, discoveries saying, well, we didn't know about this. And then we find something, we go, oh, I guess we did. Like, I guess there was civilization 70,000 years ago. They even buried it. Like, they buried Gobekli Tepe. I think I'm saying it right now.
Intentionally.
Yeah. It was neatly covered up. And so, like, why, what, like, and supposedly we weren't supposed to have this technology yet, but we did.
You know what's trippy? They're decommissioning the space station, I think in 2030, and they're gonna send it from the orbit
and crash it into the water,
into the ocean. Imagine 50,000 years from now, civilization.
Right, they're missing info.
We've fallen and then risen and fallen again.
Right.
And find this shit. Like, how is this?
Right, their brain's gonna go.
Yeah.
Wait, why
like
was
the
there a
pyramids.
space station here when?
Yeah.
Or what is that? Yeah.
They weren't smart enough to do that. That's we think of the
right.
Yeah, but we still. I mean, we only made a space. We haven't gone to the moon. We just made a space station.
You don't think we gone to the moon? That's a different thing.
No, I
This
think
is a different podcast.
I think we did go to the moon. I just don't think we were the first ones to go to the moon. I just think that we wanted to beat the Russians, and Kubrick did a good job.
Wow.
Well, I mean, if you look at his movie, I think it was Space Odyssey 2000 or whatever it's called. Right? Is that right, Marshall?
2001.
Marshall's always better with me about remembering. Oh, you don't know that one? But anyway, Stanley Kubrick, there's a whole documentary about it. I think it's called Room something. Hold on, Room 2.
I don't know, man. I just thought we were going to talk about dicks.
Yeah,
So I
you
agreed
look like
to do
it.
this.
Yeah, you look like it, dude.
All right. Well, I had a experience in St. Augustine that you guys probably heard about, right? Where I saw all those soldiers on the fort.
No. What do
You never heard about that?
I mean, probably.
I've
Just
had a
tuned it
few
out.
issues in St. Augustine, but that one was a visual one. And the one that if you guys already heard this, sorry, you can fast forward 5 minutes. But basically, this is before I knew the area very well. I had some friends who are from St. Augustine, and I went to meet up with them, and they were at the tavern, which is on George Street in the main, heart. Well, I didn't know where to park. I parked by the old cemetery. And I was walking past the fort, going the long way. I didn't know because I was just trying to find parking. And I called my friend, and this is when I had a razor, guys. Okay, this is before, even if I were
You
to
were
take
suicidal?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
I had a flip phone razor, and hold on, sorry, that's Ted. Let me just respond to him real quick.
Yeah, fuck us, right? Yeah.
No. I just want him to know.
We'll keep this podcast going, guys. The Relatables Podcast at therelatables.com, right? I fucked that all up. But at D Nimock, if you want to, not even touch on that. Vanessa.
Okay, I did it.
Were you on drugs? Were you in a place where maybe you weren't?
No, I was sober.
Yeah.
No, I was
What
completely
were your stress levels?
good.
What were you going
fine.
through?
Nothing.
You have a newborn?
No, my daughter then was probably a few years old by then, or 4 or 5 or something like that. So I'm walking by the fort. It's nighttime, and I see a bunch of people, but they look in period dress. But I thought they were just people who worked there. I didn't assume they were ghosts. I just thought I know people dress up in period dress over there. And they're being kind of rowdy, and I saw them drinking. I was they're really putting on a show. In my head, I was but I didn't know St. Augustine like that. I didn't even know it was a tourist destination, honestly, until I moved to Jacksonville. I had no idea how many people come there to, look. And then I saw some guy grope this woman who's in a wench outfit or whatever, I thought. And my friend calls me at the same time on my phone, so I answer it. I'm like this. They're to the left of me. I'm going towards George Street, which is right at the catty corner to it. And I was like, hey, I'm by the fort. I'm heading there now. And I was like, hey man, what time did that fort close? I thought you couldn't be on it after a certain time. And she goes, you can. And she's like, it is closed. And I go, no, bro. I see all these. They're all gone. The 15 people I saw outside just vanished like that. Nobody's there. So what I thought is I saw some ripple in time. I don't think I saw ghosts per se, but I saw some kind of what do they call it? God, they
Flash mob?
No, flash mob. They call it something where it's you just see kind of an energy imprint of what was going on in that time period. That the energy was so much at that. God, I know it's called something.
Field of Dreams type shit.
Kind of. So, and they look solid though. They look like solid people. It wasn't I thought I saw something a shadow figure or nothing like that. It was a legit. I thought they were there. I thought these were real people.
Yeah, I don't like to throw around the word.
So it's an imprint. It was it was an energy imprint of whatever activity had gone on in the fort, kind of thing. So it was weird. I mean, and then I've had other my friends, similar friends. I let my daughter stay at night while I went out. My friend's sister watched our kids or whatever, and we there at the house. And I got this weird vibe across the street, and she lived in the old area of St. Augustine in those slap houses or whatever. And this house was, I don't know, the house across the street, the energy was weird, man. I couldn't explain it, but it was freaking me out, like just freaking me out. So I finally said something to her because I was like, kept banging on the door. I didn't want to be left out, only because I felt like someone was watching me from that house. And I was like, yo, does anybody live there? And she goes, nah, it's vacant. And I go, what's up with that house? Like, do you know anything? And she goes, why? She goes, you get some creepy vibes? And I go, yeah, dude. Like, I felt like somebody, she goes, yeah, it's always like that. And I was like, do you know if anything's happened? She goes, no, but I grew up in St. Augustine, man. It's always like, you know, when there's something weird going on, like you just feel it. And I was like, but I saw movement similar to what you did, like a movement, but I don't know. Somebody could be squatting is what I go to. I try to use deduction first before assuming it's paranormal stuff.
Nah, son. Trust your guts. Trust your guts. If it's fucked up, it's fucked up.
Yeah, so that's why
I try to make it seem right if it's fucked up.
That's why I told her, I was like, when I come next, man, don't let me wait outside like you did. I just got this weird vibe. Like, I just did not want to be alone in front, like, waiting. And it's not even, like, the house was from here to where that green screen thing is over there. It was that close, though. Like,
close
to me, I feel like
a sprint and a grab,
yes,
you know?
That's what I felt.
It was the worst.
That's what I felt.
You know, a little bit of startle.
Because those roads are really tiny.
And then they're already on you.
I'm going to be such a good dad.
You are going to be a good dad.
So?
I don't believe in all this shit.
Well, do you guys believe in, like, do you believe you go anywhere after you die, or you just die?
I believe I'll never know until it happens.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't even think about it.
But
So what do you think about?
This.
aww,
You.
that's
I think about
aww.
touch, feel, you know, smells.
He's not saying.
Yeah, but what about your lady? I know he's not. He's not. But what about your lady? Does she have any beliefs, or you guys are similar on the same page with that?
Gotta ask her.
Is she?
Well, no, you need.
I'll talk
or
to her about
ISIS? What is she?
What you guys don't talk about any of that? So what are you gonna raise your kid with? Like,
Whatever he wants, whatever he feels, whatever
Why are you
pulls
saying
him.
he so much?
Because it's a him, Oliver. Bleep
It's
that
very
out, please.
ambiguous.
leave that out, please. No, but
Please don't say my
so you
son's
guys
name.
don't discuss that though. Like, is she religious
We're
at all?
both very like secular. Like we both, I guess, are agnostic if you want to do in like the broad
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Like we don't know, we can't prove anything. We have feelings sometimes. This spiritually pulls me. You know, like this doesn't. Like this
He's
feels
blessed
right.
a lot.
No, not blessed. But like things, I think things have energy, like experiences and people,
Right.
places, but there's no entity behind that energy. Does that make sense?
No.
I almost
Yeah.
started crying, so that's why.
It's okay.
It's just, I felt the energy.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're saying what exactly?
He's just
Nothing at
saying
all.
he doesn't. He's saying he doesn't know.
Energy, but
You're
there's no
basically
energy.
yeah, but you're saying you don't really know.
I don't think there's anyone pushing or pulling it. I just think it is, and you're experiencing it.
Yeah, but I don't.
And you go with it, or
see,
you
I
don't.
think that and I think that's a very you have just
Very indifferent.
no. I think you just have one view of what people assume entity this universe is or whatever. I don't know. Have you ever looked into other religions or like?
I don't even know another one.
Yeah,
Other than
I
the
think
one you're
that's why
thinking of.
probably that I know because that's. I mean, I believe that we do go somewhere else, but I don't believe it's the Anglo, way of Christianity or anything
But what is
like
something
that.
else? Something else could be literally right here, but it could feel like
So,
something
like,
else.
if you ever even looked
You know what I
into okay, so
No.
so let's go to Judaism because Judaism is a close cousin of Christianity. Like the difference is they don't believe Jesus was the Messiah, but Christians stole all their books and put it into their Bible. And so the beginning of like Revelations and stuff, if you look at it and now you're gonna re-look at this, you're probably gonna be like, oh, maybe she was right. In the first translation, it says, we will create them in our image. Somehow all of a sudden we got a patriarch father when it says we. So who's we? What I'm saying is bitches weren't made from Adam's rib, okay? We were made in some image of something else. And that means that to me, it's a universal knowledge. And I don't think they're pulling and pushing strings. They give us free choice, free will. So I don't think I do think energy matters. Like when people pray, they push energy into something to manifest it, but not necessarily some guy going, all right, I heard you. I'm going to make it happen. Do you see what I'm saying? Like
they would have prayed anyway, whether
Whether that deity exists or not, they would have just prayed and they could have manifested it. Like, there's.
It's like you jacking off. It's not gonna help.
Always helps.
But I mean,
what do you think? I'm on fire right now? Parking lot. You know?
He's like, I'm stressed. No, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, also, like, when people say they see certain things, like, I think you can manifest things into people's consciousness if you put enough energy into it. So, like, let's say an area there was never a Sasquatch, but people start telling a story. All of a sudden, it manifests this ability. That physicists say there's a possibility, because even at Harvard and there's one of those ritzy schools that they've
Tallahassee Community College.
Yeah, right, exactly. They've done studies where they've proven that thought can affect situations, and that's also why scientists say it's hard to even hypothesize something, because sometimes our thought process influences the results.
Our observing of
no, that doesn't apply.
Our observing,
not in this situation. Doesn't apply. Whatever you're saying doesn't apply.
I love it because you're right.
Before you even get your thought out.
You're wrong. You're wrong. You're also wrong. Why are we talking about it?
But no, all I'm saying is
reference.
No, all I'm saying is I agree with you in that sense. Like, there's energies, we can feel it. What that really is, we don't know. I think physicists have a more in-depth idea of that. I mean, they believe there is multiple dimensions. We just can't physically see it. They've proven that there are different dimensions past, like, you know, I don't know if you've seen that. God, what's his name? He's Japanese. He's
Japanese.
He's always on, like, History Channel. He does lectures.
Mr. Miyagi.
No, but way to be racist. Cool. Like, it's just going to be
Is he not an Asian man? I'm sorry, did you guys?
That's your only
people?
Japanese reference?
It was my first Japanese. That was racist for you to think.
I was going to do the hot dog.
Mr. Miyagi is dead, okay? Leave Mr. Miyagi alone. He died, all right?
It was my first. I was going to get.
Oh, which ones? Which other ones?
Now, if I just name a lot of Asian people,
Yoko Ono.
like Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee. I don't think it's
Bruce Lee
racist
wasn't
at all.
even Japanese.
What about Suzuki Utashi?
You don't know who that is.
Exactly.
I was like,
I thought you guys were like, oh yeah, like, you're a liar.
well, I thought you were going to name the 100-year-old woman. That's her. Suzuki Itachi, isn't that?
No.
From-
Well, I could start naming off anime characters.
Or Taga. Oh, God. Anyway, whatever. Yeah,
No, I just think it comes down, everything, all this thought, like, what is it? You know, what are we? Just be a good person. Like,
Yeah.
be good.
No, for sure.
And
Sure.
then-
But it also, like, if you could find some knowledge that could be useful for you to utilize, whether that's creating mantras or whatever that is, because that's also energy. Like, why not utilize the good of that ability, knowing that universal knowledge?
Just break it down. You have decisions. I have a decision to touch you. I have a decision.
Why is always going to touch, bro? Like,
Alright.
always.
But
he's like,
every decision is either a good decision or a bad decision.
No, it's not.
is it though?
It is.
It depends on the person's perception.
Assume it is.
Step 2 of your religion failed.
Let's just assume it is.
That depends on the person.
Put a binary.
Let's skip to step 7.
All right. We all make decisions, right? We all have a gut feeling that it's either a good decision or a bad decision.
Sure.
So why don't we just stick with the good?
Because you
And
can
that's
train
religion.
someone's gut.
Thank you guys. I'm Zack Malcomb. This is a movie.
No, but seriously,
This guy.
the reason why I say it's perspective, because it is, right? Like, you could think you're doing something good for somebody. Good example is, like, yesterday, I was at the grocery store with Chance, and okay, you go to a male cashier, they usually don't give a shit about the coupons. They'll take whatever off. They're not even watching if they match up.
Just the males.
But the kid wasn't even getting the coupons off. So I was like, oh, don't forget about the coupons. I started ripping them off. And out of under his breath, Chance was like, ugh. And I was like, what? And then I realized, oh, he was going to utilize the guy to use one coupon to scan for all the items. But I didn't know that. I thought I was being helpful because he already had to go back to Publix to get a discount, take it off. Okay, It's a $2 discount on jerky. It's a pretty big deal. Like, he buys like 12 bags, 2 times 12, you know, you're going to get that much in coupons back. So anyway, so he got mad at me. He said, well, you stepped in before I could. And I was like, well, and in my perspective, I was doing the right thing. In his perspective, I was interfering.
Let me interject. Publix is a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Right. It's a business.
But let's just say it
Great
is.
observation.
Let's just say it.
He was going to get the benefit of using the coupon to get more money from the business. You like Publix, right?
I guess it's
You shop at Publix.
Sure. Let's just say
So
she likes Publix.
you made a good choice to tell him about whatever coupon deal, right? And that good prevailed. Your good prevailed. It's still good, which means
not good at
Publix will be
all.
around instead of going out of business because so many good people that prevailed and
Why did you
cheating
put it
them
in-
with
What are you?
coupons.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Good people like
Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, no. My whole point is, I
They were
don't.
both good. Just one prevailed. It was a better good, and it's probably better for Publix.
So why is one-
which will keep
what is
Publix
bad?
around, which will give you good shopping experiences in the future.
Yeah, but what are you talking about? I was just talking about my personal relationship with Chance in the sense that he just felt that I interfered when I felt I was helping. And that's what I'm saying. It's about perspective. So yes, you may feel in your gut it's the right thing. The other person may feel it's not. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
What's the last bad decision?
I'm
you
just
made?
not as high as you.
It's not
So
wrong
I'm
or right.
following.
That's what you're missing. They're both good,
Yeah.
but one good prevailed,
So
and that
what
might
is
be
the
overall
point?
good.
Right.
So
but
just let it.
it's not me who's upset. It was Chance.
I'm upset because you almost fucked Publix over.
Well, that's what I was trying to tell him. Also, the kid though. Sometimes he does. Chance was never a cashier, but sometimes they'll match up your discounts to where the coupon's at because Publix is supposed to get that money back.
Fuck your
And if they
discounts,
don't match up
dude.
the coupons, Publix then has to get loss of $2 because they're not going to get the money.
16-year-old will cover it.
Imagine if
Yeah,
a
right.
million people do that, and then we don't have Publix anymore.
Well,
Yeah,
guys,
well,
we're
million
almost
people
done
are
here, though.
good.
We're almost done here. So,
want
do you
it,
have
no.
any more promos?
No, just
You guys want to talk about it? Any promos?
Oh,
Anything?
we run an open mic every Monday, Shantytown
Thank
Pub.
you.
I meant to hang the banner up before. God damn it.
You should have.
I know, that would have been cool. But we'll put it in post. Marshall. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding. Marshall just laughed at me.
He did. Zach's always like,
fucking let
Zach
you get
just
those.
really wants to be a producer. He just doesn't. All right, so Shantytown every Monday
Every
night.
Monday,
Every
8:30
Monday.
sign up. It's an open mic, so everyone come out. If you're new at comedy, if you're
Oh
doing
God,
comedy
can
for
we put a
20 years.
limit to this though? I mean, literally, these
Sometimes
mics are
there's a
getting
long
heavy.
list. And it's fun though. It's like, imagine you going out the first time, however many years ago, however many decades ago.
Fuck you.
We don't talk about it. And there being, a sign up
Yeah.
threshold. You'd be like, I don't want to come back here.
Why
No,
are
I'm not
these
welcome.
story hypothetical?
That's
Just tell a
so.
real
Here's
story.
the thing. That's not
Good
true
prevailed.
because I've been to LA open mics, and I will tell you, there's usually 60 comics. They're only going to put up maybe 15 of those comics. It's a raffle. They have it in a bowl. You pop up. So guess what? You have to keep coming back until you actually get a choice to get up there. And then sometimes it's fucking Larry, who's 68, who's never done comedy, and you have all these comics who's been on Comedy Central and all this stuff, and they're looking at fucking Larry,
That's the name
killing
of the
it.
game, though. That's why it's so beautiful. Because it's just random.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I'm just saying, at some point, especially, I guess for the people who come regularly and you randomly see people who aren't going to keep coming back, you're just like, stop wasting our fucking time, Like,
Nah, those people they're necessary.
yeah, I guess so.
That's-
It's for us to appreciate what we're doing, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
I love you guys. I
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys, for watching again or listening.
We love you.
That was Dean. Say bye, Zach.
Bye.
Bye.
You've just listened to the Los Rotos Podcast,
Los Rotos Podcast.
produced by Upside Down Creative Media.
Upside